name is Hernando, and I'm currently the Learning Associate at Repra, and in the not so distant past, I was the People Dynamics Research Intern. So I first applied to Repra while continuing my studies in psychology, and what stood out to me was how it sounded quite removed from all the traditional internships that I saw and were normally associated with psychology postgraduate. And I did feel like if any experience were to challenge me, it would be less about standard operating procedures and more focused on how to internalize the overall learning in new ways I would probably not be exposed to on the standard clinical psychology track. And this was something I saw all over the messaging for Repra's website, in most of the online media that they had, and even in their job description as well. I'm someone who's obsessed with finding the lowest common denominator for anything success, growth, or well-being related. And I think navigating change and uncertainty has become more important and relevant in today's circumstances, but would also require much more insight, depth, and kind of a multidisciplinary effort to plan for any of these issues moving forward. So where I see myself going is experimenting with specific tools to help individuals and communities still self-develop and be accountable to their goals, but also keeping in mind the human element and the compassionate side of growth. So this would include ideas from domains like mental health, performance coaching, organizational development, change management, and even agile. I would say my end goal is to probably build some form of heightened, normalized capacity for resilience for everyone, so that they have that change readiness and they do feel that enablement, and that the next generation would hopefully be more formidable to meeting challenges. So my initial idea of entrepreneurship was admittedly rather cynical and elementary when I first joined the company. And people who have spoken to me since I first started know that I've changed that idea so far, and I've accepted that I've been completely wrong. And what I used to think it was a very mundane process of someone would start a company, they would make a good product, they would have good timing and development standards. Somewhere along the line, they would get a sizable investment from somewhere and succeed and become famous if they do. And then suddenly they don't struggle and everything's okay. I now view it as a much more symbiotic process between a founder and their experiences and motivations, and also the capitalist aspect of business. But that there also can be a social benefit for communities beyond the business and within the business. What I did find surprising was that while many of my initial beliefs kind of had something to do with entrepreneurship in that, previously thought mundane process, I realized that it did not have to be at the forefront of how an entrepreneur maintains and begins their business. And while they were still kind of key aspects along the life cycle of the business, what actually could take the forefront was more of that positive social impact and the sustainability, while factoring in all the other maybe more standard processes of a business, which was very important to me because then I didn't have to be so cynical. To me, the experience changed the way I was learning at quite a fundamental level. So my current understanding is that you can greatly accelerate learning by making it a purposeful and collaborative process. And this was quite a big shift for me because I was often resistant to anything group related or like group classes or group conversations, and I was not expecting how much I would learn from others. I start to believe that if you tap into the learning for each person in the way that works well for them, they can then start creating that social impact even faster. And I think the biggest takeaway now is how to factor that accelerated learning, or maybe even facilitate it, into the projects that I'm working on now.